eyes were dim. I could not see. I had not brought my specs with me. Alright, so yes, so here we are, looking inside the, where the video chip goes in the Commodore 64. I now have my glasses. I'm going to put this chip in and give it a try, and of course, we will see that it makes no difference. Alright, the video chip is in. It is in the right configuration. I will turn on the power. It makes a refreshing little noise. But when we look at the monitor, we have nothing. So, onward in the diagnostic process we go. I have reinserted the Commodore 64 dead test cartridge, and I have turned it on. And I am looking at the screen, which sometimes does take a while to come up. And I see nothing. So, not surprising, we will carry on. Alright, so we are back to our test machine, using the same power supply, same video cable, and all that. I turn it on, the power light comes on, and the screen is good. So, I'm going to open up this machine and see about swapping out some chips. So here we are looking inside the machine that we will test the chips in. And indeed, many, many more of the chips are in sockets. This is helpful. It is. Here is the original machine that we are trying to fix. So the artwork version is not quite identical, but you know, it shouldn't really make any difference. So let's start trying some chips. So I have taken the 6510 chip out, and the one we now see that I'm inspecting the pins on is the one from the machine that is dead. And the pins look okay. So we are going to insert and see what happens. So the 6510 chip has been installed. I will turn on this machine, and it still works. Excellent. Just before I do the SID chip, I'm going to put, I did put in the dead test cartridge. I'm going to apply power, and momentarily, assuming the dead test cartridge is in fact working, oh yes, looky, another screen. So, this is, well, it's not the most complete testing there is available, but it'll give me an idea. Also, I want to hear and make sure that the SID chip that is currently in this machine makes some noise, or it doesn't. I just want to know what's happening. I do. So, this is the dead test cartridge. I find it's somewhat helpful. Usually if a machine is dead though, then the dead test cartridge does pretty much nothing. So as you see, it's checked 0 page, stack page, green RAM, color RAM. It will check other things. Oh, and now everything's going to go away. But then it will come back. So what we really want to hear, and I wish there was a way to just do this without having to go through the whole thing, is the SID chip. But the funny thing, of course, is, as I mentioned before, it tests the SID chip, but only 3 of the 4 voices. Why? I don't know. But soon, aha! Okay, so enough of that. Alright, so the SID chip from the broken machine is in. I'm going to apply power, and I'll get back to you. Power has been applied. The dead test is running. We're not going to watch the whole thing through. We're just going to listen for the sound of the SID chip. And now, as we look at the SID chip, we await to hear the sound. So, the voices that we can check are in fact working. This is good. One would think that if the SID chip works, that the machine will fire up when the SID chip is in there. And indeed, it does. As or just after I took the video chip out of the good test machine, I found that one pin on the very end had a horrible bend. Like, there's no way it was in the socket. Now, I don't think I've ever had this machine owned before. Maybe that pin isn't used for anything, but anyway, I'm going to try and straighten it out without breaking it. It's that one right on the end, the shiny one that's bent and twisted. I gave it a little tweak, and so far we're okay, but there's always something. This is perhaps a better view of the pin. The very top one closest to us, it has a nasty bend, and I've been tweaking it gently, but I think I really got to find some pliers. Anyway, it doesn't really matter right now because we're going to test the one out of the other machine. This is the out of the good machine, but there's no way it was making contact. This is after I have tweaked it to try and get it sort of straight. So maybe that pin just isn't necessary. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to carry on with our testing. Here is the video chip from the machine that is dead. The pins look good, everything looks fine. We're going to put it in and see what happens. Alright, so the chip is in. We will apply power. And it works. This is good and bad, because we pretty much exhausted the chips in sockets. Pretty much. I shall ponder. While we are here, let me direct you to the little potentiometer just beside the chip right there. That is, like, as I look at the screen, I know this is an older 64, it doesn't look really great. But what I have found with the VIC-20 is that if you tweak that, your video might improve. It might. You have to use a screwdriver. You should do it when the machine is off, of course. Anyway, keep that in mind. Hello, so I did tweak that potentiometer. I find it only goes 180 degrees. It's right now at its most counterclockwise position. And you know what? Really didn't make any difference. Very strange. So it was, I think, at just about 11 o'clock when I turned this machine on. There's the screen. So maybe I'll just put it back where it was. Anyway, we have 3 good chips, and now, well, I will ponder.